All right, so we're gonna use our rear foot on our first jab to close the gap. A lot of times if I'm double stepping with my lead step, we're thinking about range. MMA range is different than boxing range. This is more boxing range. This is more MMA range, okay? Because we're in a kicking range, okay? Boxing range, MMA kickboxing range, okay? So in boxing range, I can use a double step with my lead foot to close the gap and to land my jabs. From MMA or kickboxing range, if I'm using my lead foot, it's very easy to get timed. And then also, I stay in that pocket for a little too long with my feet spread. So I start to spread my feet, and now I can get killed. Okay, so I'm using my rear foot on my first jab, so I narrow my stance so I can spear with my lead foot. So I go rear foot, boom, long. So I take a huge gap in distance with my lead foot. So we'll watch it again. Rear foot, slightly close the gap. Now I got a narrow stance, and then I'm driving in deep. You ready? All right, let's see it. Yeah, you can show the crowd. Okay, rear foot, lead foot. And again. Beautiful. Good. 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 Again. Oh, let's try it with an angle. Instead of closing the gap, I want to see you take an angle with the rear foot. Boom. Yep, take a ramp and just step behind. Oh, gotcha. Wonderful. So now, his rear foot is the one that's free. And then he's able to take a step on me. Again. Oh, let's add the right hand to it. That's the jab. So angle with your rear foot, and then 1, 2. So 1, 1, 2. Take an angle. And again. So think about this shadow boxer for me. On his first jab, he's out of my range. And then he's able to really close the gap because he narrows his stance. And again, take the angle, you're out of my range. And again, rear foot. Oh, wonderful. Boom. Again. 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 Wonderful. Yeah. I'm gonna challenge you. Rear foot this way with the first jab, and then single jab. Wonderful. Yeah. Beautiful. So notice, we're using the rear foot now to create a new angle. Okay, we were going to the left in the one before that. Now he's going to the right with a jab. So he's blinding me with a jab and finding an entry to a power. Let's play a 1, 2 with it. So if he blinds me, slow down a little bit. He blinds me, oh, that was gonna kill me. I'm not seeing his feet. If you just throw just a normal jab, no steps, jab. Okay? I'm blocking. I'm defending jabs. He's in front of me, I can see that. He starts to take angles with the jab. Because I start to get distracted with my own defense. Make sure you use this rear foot to not close the gap, to create an angle, and to close your stance so you can close the gap. Yeah. Yep. 1, 2. Again, shorten that second jab. Oh, wonderful. Oh, beautiful. One more time. Great. So again, rear foot. Great for closing the gap and not getting your feet spread. If I go with my lead foot, I start to get wide with my stance. Again, your wide stance, you get stuck in the mud. Use your rear foot. I narrow my stance so I get like a fencing stance where I can really spear my legs. I get a jump, I get explosion. Use your rear foot to close the gap, take an angle, and be able to make opportunity to get inside their defense and throw power shots. All right, double undercut left hook. For me, I think my favorite punch in the game is the left hook to the body. And if you can get people to start to defend the left hook, you start to create openings. It's very hard to defend. High level guys can defend both. But if you start placing it a little low, a lot of times, and you're hitting hard levers, people start dropping those elbows and they drop that hand. You come up over the top. So what he's gonna do is he's gonna throw a body shot. He's reading how I'm defending. So if I'm incorrectly defending it wrong, and I'm bringing my hand down too low, because you get body shots there, you start going, oh man, I'm gonna protect that thing. And you see that opening, look low, come high. So again, he throws a body shot, he sees my defense drop a little bit. you come with the power shot. Again, lots of people don't know how to use the counterbalance. This is correct. When he goes body shot, I'm gonna tuck my head. Like, if they're gonna hit me, they're gonna hit me. If I'm gonna hit it, I'm doing this. That would not be the best time to throw it. But if you're throwing a body shot, and you see them dropping it, that's where you will throw this hook to the head. Again, body shot. You see that? Okay, again. You see the drop? Yeah. Good. Wonderful. Good. Okay. Wonderful. Beautiful. Good. One more. Beautiful. Again, if I'm dropping my hands, this is where we use this. You see that? One more. Good. Good break. So again, if you are throwing shots and you see that arm, I'm telling you, 90% of the time you're going to see the arm drop like that. Give them a good hard one to their defense. Let them feel like they are blocking this. Look low, come high. This is a super effective move, especially if you're a good body puncher. You got to leverage your hooks. Work on body shots. Liver shot. When I do some commentating, I love to talk about the body. You guys hear that? That, to me, is the most effective thing you can do. Attack the body. Get strategies behind why you attack the body. You get hit to the head, I kind of explain it this way. If you get hit to the head, it's like taking shots. You're at the bar, you take a shot, the more shots you take, you're like, yeah, let's do this. Kind of knocks you into stupidity, like you'll fight anybody. When you get hit to the body, it takes your heart, it takes your soul. You'll be the toughest guy in the world, and you can't recover. You get hit with a hard body shot, doesn't matter how tough you are, you have to look at your opponent while you're still breathing. It's the worst feeling. Learn how to attack the body. That's a great combo I love to use with my athletes. All right, so using my right cross to the body to set up an overhand. If someone's throwing jabs at me, so if you're throwing jabs at me, he's coming in a line of direction. Again, the jab is the easiest punch to counter. And I'm telling you, I love to get people to jab at me, and meaning by that is I'm going to try to get my head in range where people want to jab. It's the easiest to counter. Okay, again, they stretch their arm out. It's not a super dangerous shot that I'm going to run into that's going to cause damage. So if I need someone to throw jabs, I can now start setting up my counters. So if he's jabbing at me, I'm playing, I'm seeing that. Okay, when I see that come, the shot that I like to hit is armpit. We'll slow this down for a second. Okay, it's armpit. There is not much muscle right here. And when you throw that shot, it sucks because you're extending with your ribs. Don't think too low. You start hitting hip bones. You hit a hip bone like me, man, it hurts your hands. I got the bone and hip bones. We want to hit the rib cage, okay? Right on the edge of the rib cage, not on the lat, on the rib cage. What this does, if I throw a jab, you hit me in my rib cage, this next jab I throw, I start to do this. And what that's doing is it's creating a pocket, an opening for an overhand. So if he throws his first one, hits me to the body, there we go. Okay, I start to go, oh man, I don't want to get hit with that again. And this is how we set up the overhand. I love to attack the body. Again, it's a safe shot to do because his head gets out the way of my cross if I were to throw across. Okay, and it's super effective. He's barely hitting me right now. And I'm like, hey man, I thought we was cool. But yeah, I'm just joking. Again. And again. And again. And again. You set it up anytime you want. Oh, wonderful. So again, getting me to lower. Every time I see his body lower, I want to start getting my elbow down as quick as possible to set up the overhand. Using my hands to the body, again, body is so effective. I'm going to say it over and over and over and over again. Hit the body. You remember the body shots. They affect you. They take your gas. Hit the body, set up your power shots again slow No, you never have to do it to me. He's hitting, I'd even go a touch higher. A little bit longer. Yeah, those stuff. You feel it, right?
Yeah.
You can feel like my ribs get soft. The further you start going down, you start getting to the obliques, a little bit more muscle there.
Well, yeah, there's an angle there and it's going to slide off.
The armpit is like a pocket. You can feel it. So again, armpit. Good. So again, when he throws his next one, I'm thinking, oh, don't hit me in the armpit. And then I start wanting to get my elbow down. That's when we come over the top. Super important. Hit the body. Think of the soft spots. Be brutal when you're hitting people. Armpit is a great technique to use to set up your overhand. All right, so I'm gonna pinch my shoulder blades and open my wings. My wings again are my arms, I call them, my wings are closed, okay, my wings are open. I like this jab because it's super effective. They think the hook is coming. I'm distracted by pinching my shoulder blades and making them think the hook is coming. But I also want to blind him from where my jab is coming. Meaning what I'm doing, you just go ahead and make normal stance. Okay, when I open this up, I'm putting it outside for a reason. I want him to start thinking, oh, I need to defend this hook. Okay? So again, when I open, now I got a short jab coming right up the middle. And this has got to be some type of flow with your hands. Like I open and I shoot. Get your motion to be able to work with your feet. If you want to try this on bags, you just want to get your feeling of your arms. So that way you can jab at different times. So that way, once I start playing this, I'm going to have him work on my hands. And it's very hard to see because again, they're going, oh, they think that the hook is coming. I open up, he starts thinking defend. Then I come inside. Alright, how would you go on the hook? Alright, yeah. You don't even know that's awesome. It's a 5 2 minute weapon machine right there.
I don't know how to think about it. It's
good, so you're pulling.
Yeah.
Alright, so no matter what he's doing, if he's pulling, he's blocking. Go ahead and try to pull. It's still gonna come up this center line. I want to sell the hook. I pinch shoulder blades, come from this position. It doesn't have to go inside. I open, pinch, and shoot the jab. Again, super effective jab. Once you start getting your jabs off where they're not being countered, you're starting to control the match. The jab, the most effective tool for controlling range, controlling position, unless you're being countered with it. It's the worst. Alright, sucks when your jab's getting countered. So you gotta be strategic with the jab. Pinch the shoulder blades, shoot the jab. Okay, you pinch the shoulder blades, get them to think hook. I come up the middle. I open and shoot up the middle. Very effective for getting your jabs in on someone who's defending your jab very good or wanting to counter you. Make them think of power shots coming. All right, understanding the body jab. Let's start off with the body jab and then we'll go out and how to set up things off of the body jab. So when throwing a body jab, a lot of times when I see people throwing a body jab, they bring their head right into the pocket and they're there for any counters there is. Act like you're picking something up with your right hand. If it was off a stool about this high, we don't want to get too low at our levels. Also, the angle is key when throwing a body jab. I want to square him up, so I put him on his heels, but I'm also disengaging at an angle. If I'm going straight in and out with a body jab, I'm going to get countered on the way out. So that's why it's a dangerous punch. I think this is the safest punch in the game that you can throw if you throw it right. When I go to attack, I step on his shadow. Okay, so if there's a light above him, he's got a shadow. I'm hitting his center to put him on his heels, and then I'm disengaging to my left, which is square to him. So when I throw this, I step deep, so I put him on his heels, and then I angle out. And the reason why I angle out is because if he goes to throw a right hand, first off, he's on his heels, so he can't attack forward with pressure. Oh, God. And then I'm out. Feel strong, yeah. You were blocked?
No, it was kind of locked.
Okay, I'll push it. Okay. So again, key is push him on his heels. I push him on his heels and take the angle out. Even if I eat the shot, it's nothing damaging because I'm rolling with the punches. So again, let's do it super slow. I come in, I'm gonna take the jab away. I come in. If I come straight back, I'm eating the shot big time. If I come in and out, you're not going to take a lot of the shot. It's like him throwing a punch at me and to me taking the angle of my jaw off of it. That's why we take the angle out. Okay? I throw the jab, put him on his heels, and I take the angle out. Right there, even if he doesn't throw the punch, he's super off balance. He's on his heels and he's square to me. So this is where I can find super power shots. Again, jabbing to the body to where he is square, meaning that my jab should be landing like this. Okay? I don't want to be landing like this where it can slide off. I'm squaring his torso up on my step. Okay? And I'm taking the angle out so I don't get countered. The jab to the body is super effective. You get in quick, and it's really hard to counter. I would say the best counter for this would be the left hook. So make sure that you have this up or your head is pointed towards the direction of the attack. Meaning that would suck to hit hard, right? Because it's the top of the head. So my hand is up and my head is down on that shot. So I'm not going to eat the hook because the hook to me is really the only counter that you can land good. Even if he punches with me on the first step, when I put him on his heels, he doesn't hit hard. It's very hard to get leverage when your butt is pushed back, especially with a dropping shot. But a jab to the body, super effective, super fast. I believe it's the safest punch in combat sports that you can throw if you're throwing it correctly with the angle, squaring him up, put him on his heels.
Using your feet, he's not doing it but by using his feet.
Yep.
And if you try to go in and out, you're going to get screwed all day.
Yeah, he's talking on a straight line. If I go straight in, straight back, danger. A jab's you can get countered all day with that. Take the angle. We call it a pie shape. You're in an angle, you're out of an angle. Very, very important. All right, using the body jab to set up an overhand. Super fundamental. To me, if you, again, safest punch in the game, body jab. Knowing how to use a body jab, the safest punch to set up one of the most dangerous punches, is a key blend. Right? So he goes and throws a body jab at me. Even though I'm defending correctly, again, if I'm defending, I want to use my elbow and take away the shot. So if you see, let's talk about defense a little bit on these body jabs. Yeah, I'm defending, I'm taking the defense off of it without setting up other shots. A lot of times people start doing this, and it starts creating lots of openings for hooks. Defending it, like I just did, which was correct, is with the elbow. Okay, I'm just disengaging it with the elbow, but it still leaves me for the overhand. Okay, so pause on your jab. So as I'm defending this, okay, I'm lean. My weight is on my back leg, and this is where overhands kill people, because my weight is back. Okay, so let's do it again. Pause on the jab. I'm here. And again. So just pause for the overhand. Let me throw the overhand. I catch the body jab. I'm defending it correctly. Your opponent thinks he's doing something right. My weight's on my rear foot. And this is where he drives the hip over and throws the overhand. So now just level change, give me a half a jab, and then overhand. And that will kill you. I'm telling you, a good body jab, again, what does it do? It forces me on my heels. Even if he lands it, it puts me on my heels. Okay, if I start defending it, okay, this sets me up for the overhand. When you're using a body jab, again, I'm going to go back to it, I'm going to repeat it. Safest punch in the game, the body jab, if you're using the angle, okay? And you're turning the angle correctly and disengaging from an angle. If you can use the safest punch to set up the most devastating punch, that is an effective blend. I'm gonna do it to you real quick. Okay, I throw a jab to the body, I take the angle, I square his hips up, pushing him on his heels with my body jab, then take the angle out, okay? Now I look low with my eyes because I want to sell it. So I look low, I carry my rear foot with the jab, and then I rock my head forward. I look low like I'm taking the angle, and I shoot. So notice I loaded my hips on the body jab. I didn't boom stretch where I could be countered. I carried my hips, I looked low, showed that I'm doing the body jab, carried the hip, and then dropped the overhand. Super effective. You should watch this part of the series over and over and over because this is a fundamental tool. He just reminded me.
Yeah, if you want to see it in action, third or fourth round, here's third round.
Yep.
I hit Tony with it. I smashed the body, and then Tony being he's so aggressive, he wanted to counter it. So as soon as he goes to counter it, anything is open. And it's again, I can't stick the jab out there. It's just a feint. Boom, just to get them to drop for a split second. We're dealing with milliseconds and millimeters.
Millimeters.
I don't think it's centimeters. We're doing fractions of space.
He's adding the physics to this. Physically, it works. I would repeat this over and over. Use your body jab, set up your power hand. Super effective. Again, if you were to study anything on here, this is the most fundamental move that you can have. Even doing it from a green level, that will really change your game. All right, so I'm gonna take my lead foot off the track with a hook to set up my jab. So I'm using a short step, like I'm sliding the piece of paper with my lead foot. This is creating an angle. A lot of times if I step like this and throw a jab, it's too slow, okay? If I, again, incorrect, stepping off the track to throw a jab, too slow. This one, I'm gonna keep my shoulder point, like as if I'd be throwing a hook, sliding my foot off his rear foot, my lead foot track, to throw the jab, okay? This is taking the angle, so I'm getting him square, and most importantly, taking away his power hand. If I just try to throw a jab here again, the counter's right there. So I need to take that right hand away by sliding off the track and throwing the jab. Okay, you don't need to throw that now. This is very good again. Square him up, doesn't matter what he's throwing. I'm gonna win on the jab if we're doing this. Shoulder stays pointed, act like you're throwing a little bit of a hook as you slide your lead foot, and shoot the jab. Again, get off the track, slide, shoot. Again, slide, shoot, take an angle so we can kind of show different feet. Again, I'm sliding the hook to throw the jab. Take an angle, and shoot. It almost looks like I'm jogging backwards a little bit. Don't get far away. You're doing it just to take an angle, and shoot. Go ahead and try it. Again. Good. Speed your foot up. And shoot. Again. Wonderful. Good. Beautiful. Again. Is that your pinky? Good. Good. So now let's use it with the counter. So I'm going to catch his hook as he takes an angle. Watch how his feet work. Go ahead and run the foot. And again. To get the feeling down, act like you're throwing a hook. Now if I don't catch the hook, it still works the same. A lot of times when someone throws the hook, it's like, oh, this is the best time to throw it. If you're throwing a hook at me, he's putting me on my heels. Again, slide your lead foot off the track. Make it look like a hook. It's also very good when I use the hook like that because I'm defending. My hand stays high, they don't want to throw things. If you're taking an angle, you can set up your attacks that way. Slide your lead foot off the track and land a good power jab. All right, using a right hook to the body, a right hook to the body. It's going to set up 2 power hooks to the head. Best part about this is when he levels changes, body shots, you have to level change to block him. I can't just reach down, especially on the lead hand. I can't do this. You just know you're going to get cracked with a right hook. So I level change. So when I'm blocking, I gotta level change to block this hook. What happens is it sets me on a chair. And if he comes up with 2 right hooks or a right hook, left hook, it's gonna kill me. Let's do it again. Start off with a body shot. It brings my hands out, sits me on a stool. Okay, second one, he comes up 2 hooks. And again. We're using that to set me on the stool. Again, sitting me on the stool, meaning my base is down, I'm grounded. This is where you can hit someone the hardest. Again. Wonderful. And again. Beautiful. 2 more. Yeah. Wonderful. 1 more. Okay, so when throwing these shots, make sure you're not reaching your hook. We need to be dropping again. We used the hula hoop earlier. Understand your positions when you're coming down, that you're changing our level too, because we want them to sit on the stool. They know either an uppercut's coming, so they've got a base for it. Okay, it's either gonna be an uppercut or a hook if I'm sitting on the stool, meaning I'm dropping here. When we land that shot, that's what's gonna set up my 2 power shots. Okay, get them to drop their base, get them to be heavy. Hit a heavy bag that weighs over 200 pounds. Those are the best ones to throw hooks on. You can feel it. We want them to be heavy. Sit them on the stool so you can land 2 power hooks to the head. This has been very effective for my boxers at world championship level. Is lead hooks to the body and then double it up hooks to the head after that. Super effective. Try it out.